Hello Jets! Well, I'm sure you guys know me, or I hope you guys know me from all the gesturing videos that I've been taking. But today, as I have already told you guys, I'm out here to tell you how technological developments have drove the generations apart. So, in the modern society, our modern society have become more mercurial than ever before. For any kind of developments or advancements to take place, it took at least a few decades to manifest. It took about 80 years to create that light bulb over there. Well, compared to that, our smartphones have developed so fast in these past 10 years. When I was in 8th grade, or more like elementary school, I remember how I had to have these smartphones that are just like galaxies, which is really old-fashioned right now. Well, now I have these iPhones in my hand, and I have iPads and MacBook Pros. Yeah, it changed really fast. Nowadays, it's not just a matter of few decades, years, or months. There's a new innovation, new invention every second. And this fast-paced world, it doesn't really wait for these stragglers to catch up. It pushes on relentlessly, disregarding whether or not its occupants are able to keep up. And these technological developments, they're ungovernable. And COVID-19, it became its personal steroid, making it this kind of developments harsher and harsher for us to even keep up. I'm sure you guys all have experience of how the COVID-19 changed our workplaces, changed our learning environments. For the past roughly about 2 years or so, we had to move on to Google Classrooms. We can't just come here and take off our masks and just be happy with our friends. We have to go through all this process of cleaning our desk. We have to wear a mask all the time. And sometimes when it was so severe, we had to go on Google Classrooms and not interact with all our peers. And the job market has also changed. Instead of us going into these restaurants or cafes and looking at these cashiers with their smiling faces, we only have these digital cashiers called kiosks. And many enterprises, they had to go through Zoom meetings instead of face-to-face meetings. And what does this mean for our society? It means that for the current, old, and the new generations, you guys, it's going to make it harder and harder for us to keep up. And in order for us to even try to be on top of the game, we have to do a lot of research. We have to learn. And for these elders out there, it's much harder for them to keep up. For you guys, I'm sure it's just easier for us to just pull out your iPhones or your phones and just type in a few words and get those internet banking or just buy whatever that you guys need on coupon. Well, compared to that, according to Gyeonggi Research Institute, only 16.5% of the elders are able to do that. Well, compared to us, the youngsters, about 60% of us are called digitally proficient. Well, compared to that, only 15% of the elders are able to do that. They can't just whip out their smartphones and search whatever that's up. They have a hard time looking how to get the Wi-Fi done or how to download different apps. And personally, I understand that trouble too. As a Generation Z, and supposedly the most digitally intelligent, I have a hard time navigating through all these technological developments too. Like metaverses, NFTs, what does that all mean? Do you guys know what does that mean? Metaverses? Yeah, I'm sure that you guys are having this hard time catching up. And for the elders, this is a much worse situation. Right now, generational gaps is not just a micro issue from one parent to their child. It has become a macro issue that impacts the entire world. And the government, and ourselves, the younger generations, they need to take the initiative to reach out to all these people, to all the elders, all the older people 60 and above. We have to take the initiative to reach out to them to help them get assimilated into this vastly improving, fastly evolving trend of the technological developments. Because if we don't, in 10 or 20 years or so, that's going to be our future too. We will also be the ones who are left in the digital dust, as people say, trying to navigate through these vast changes that we have. And if you do not start taking initiatives to reach out to them using whatever media assets necessary, like radio, YouTube, TV, to help them assimilate, to make them digitally literate, we need to take the first step and get them to our stances too. So I like to go off with the quote that I just found on the internet, that it is not just about losing. It's not just about failure. It is not just about going out there and just saying that, oh my God, we won't be able to do it. It's the fact about trying. Because what we have right now is either we're taking the first step or we just don't take any step at all and be left in this metaphorical dust for days to come. Thank you.